Good afternoon, everybody. Today is November 15th, 2025, and I'm out here on the property of this abandoned and now burned hulk of Don Pablo's Mexican Kitchen. But our real goal here today is to find out something about the burial spot of Jennie, the circus elephant, who died out here by the Summit Place Mall back in 1972. Now, the mistake I've made in the past when trying to find the elephant is forgetting that you had to look at it from the perspective of what this land looked like in 1972. So, using an overhead shot, I got a grip on what place did look like at night. Well, I had a shot from 1974, and in 1974 this entire property was vacant. There seemed to be a little dirt access road that led up here, and on that little circle access road, by the way, none of this was here. Not Don Pablo's, not Red Lobster. It went all the way down to Mall Drive East and was vacant. That's maybe 200 yards in this direction. So I took that 1974 overhead and looked, and right about on this property line, let me step back for you, and I'll apologize now for my camera skills. There were two big signs set in the ground that advertised the Summit Place Mall, or as it was known then, it was the Pontiac Mall. And right about here alongside Telegraph, there were two big signs, billboards, right up here. Now again, we have to keep in mind that Telegraph Road may have been widened since 1974. So, if the two signs were right here, allegedly Jennie was buried just to the west of those signs. West is this way. But I've already walked the property before I started filming. Right now what I'm on is a disintegrated asphalt parking area. So if we're a little bit west, if the signs were over there, then we're a little bit west of there. So somewhere right around in here should be Jennie the elephant's grave. But apparently when they decided to build on this land, they had to grade it so that it was level or slanted just a little bit, graded just a little bit for water drainage. and things like that. Therefore, what we have, and you might be able to see it, I'm reluctant to walk into the woods because I'll probably fall on my posterior. This whole land seems to have been graded over what would have been the grave site, and I can see just in front of me garbage. I'm gonna have to walk. Let me see if I can find a safe space to walk in here. That's a curb right there, outlining the parking lot. But at this time of year with the leaves gone, it really helps to see what's going on in here. But I'm about to give you an idea of what they did to this land. Again, if I don't fall on posterior or fall into a hole, you can see how they graded this land. It now slopes down here. So, when they graded the property, they probably put more dirt on top of poor Jennie. What have we got? I just noticed this. There's some kind of structure in the tree over here. Looks like it might be a birdhouse or a... Well, now I'm going to have to walk over there and see. Get a closer idea. Without getting a stick in my eye. Well, in my world, that's something just to stay away from. But I hope the perspective is being shown here about how much higher this ground is than what goes towards the former site of Pontiac Lake Road. Now we'll crawl out of here. There's no obvious depression in the ground where an elephant may have been buried. So, this is the general area. That's Telegraph Road. And if you look on an overhead, that's the sidewalk. That's the Telegraph. See if I can get a better look at that box from here. Curiosity kills the cat. I don't know what the heck that is. Oh well. So, right about in here, let me walk out a little bit. Going from Telegraph, right about in here, Jennie should be laying at rest. And I'm sorry to those who are tired of this elephant business, but my goal from the beginning, months and months ago, was to kind of get an idea where she might be. And that's about all there is. So the property's been graded, and but what do you all think? Should there be a plaque here commemorating Jennie, the circus elephant? She was like 60 years old. The circus was set up on this property back in the day. Jennie was about 60, which is pretty old for an elephant. And I guess she contracted pneumonia, got sick. One veterinarian came out and gave her penicillin. And then the next day, a veterinarian came out from the Detroit Zoo to look her over. He unfortunately had to decide that the elephant was on her last legs. So the elephant died, and allegedly the Waterford police, etc., etc., the county stepped in and said, you must bury this elephant right now, right here. So they bought a bulldozer out, dug a hole, and buried her in. Now there's some controversy over whether when they went to put Jennie in the hole, allegedly they had one of the other circus elephants push Jennie into the hole. But then on the other hand, people said a backhoe did it. We'll never really know, I don't think. So, you know what? I think since animals have become much more important than humans in this modern age, that Jennie should have some kind of marker here. Even though nobody actually figure out where it might be. So that's about all I have for you. This is a lot longer than I thought it would run. So it's kind of nice today. It's about 62 degrees. And it's supposed to be freezing all next week. So I wanted to get out here today before that happens. And I hope this puts to rest the memory of where Jennie might be. And she's here somewhere. But as usual, I will do some more research, and if I find out anything else, I'll add to her story. So enjoy your day, folks.